Hello everyone and welcome back to another one. Today we're going to try something a little different. I've gotten a lot of questions about my setup and what I have going on in terms of that, so I figured the easiest way to answer would to just make a tour and take you guys straight. So let's just jump right into it. Before we get into it, I do have to say you do not have to spend a lot of money in order to get a good setup. Like, you don't have to spend $5,000 in order to buy a monitor or $3,000 for a chair, which is why we're going to keep everything here to about $1,000 give or take. So that being said, I also do feel like you need to have an actual desk, chair, monitor and all of those in order to be productive, because just working from a laptop doesn't really cut it for me. But yeah, just take note of those two things and let's jump right into it. So the desk I'm working is a FlexiSpot 55 by 28 inches. It's an electric stand-up desk, which I love for when you're tired of sitting around for long periods of time. Well, I'll be honest, I don't really stand that much. It has 4 programmable heights along with the arrows for precision, which is great. There are so many things I love about this desk, the main thing being the massive real estate it has. There is so much space to put everything you would want to work on at the same time. I could have my iPad out on one corner, my personal laptop on the other, and just so much more. Overall, I would say this is a pretty solid desk. I'm very happy with it, and I'm really able to get a lot of work done on this desk. My only issue with this desk is that it doesn't come with inbuilt cable management. However, I was still able to get my cables very organized without that. I used 3 things. The first one being this tray I got from Amazon. It's a very simple and modular product, and I really like this tray for 2 major reasons. The first one being that it has 2 holes for an extension cable, which is where your setup is drawing power from. And the second being these screws that you can just use to lock the thing into place. And that's especially great because now we do not need to screw holes into our table, and we can just tighten it based on the thickness of the table. The next thing I got was this USBC hub from Amazon. They did not sell this exact one anymore, so I'll leave a substitute in the description, but this was great because it had 2 USB-C ports, a HDMI port, an SD card slot for editing or anything like that, an Ethernet port for faster internet, and it had 3 USB-A ports, which is exactly what I needed. I also love this long USB-C cord that allows switching between personal and work laptop on absolute breeze. Then finally we have this electrical tape. Now, I don't recommend just taping wires together. I only use this for the elasticity. You could fold this into 2 and it forms something of a sturdy rope. I probably should have gone with zip ties, but I had this lying around, so I figured why not just use this instead. But I would recommend for everyone else to actually use real zip ties or something else, because not that this is bad, but it could just be better. So bring those 3 bad boys together and you're able to convert this mess, or I don't even know what to call this, but you're able to take this and make it into this. And I'm really happy the way this turned out. The key factor really was the load beam to the right, not the motor beam to the left. Most sit-to-stand desks will have both these beams, and if you can align your cables on the right one, you should be good. Then the tray is at the back, holding in the power supply and really powering up the entire table. And finally, we have the USB-C hub, which connects to everything and is taped to the tray so that we can easily swap the cable between our personal and work laptop. And this is what that typically looks like. And that's pretty much it, to be honest. My monitor does take a little while to come back on after being plugged in, so how about we just talk about that next. The monitor I'm using is the Koorui 34-inch ultra-wide curved monitor. And while it's not the most exciting monitor, I've actually enjoyed using it. The main thing I like is the massive real estate, which is great for when you're debugging and want to have like a whole lot of screens open at once. It's plenty bright and you can see text clearly while having the monitor against the window, and I really like that. It's not a 4K monitor, which sucks, but that's fine to me because I use this monitor strictly for work. And the benefit of the massive screen, because of its 34 inches coupled with its 21:9 aspect ratio, basically eliminates the need for me to have a second monitor. And I'm able to have up to 4 mini screens on here at the same time. Not that I would want to do that though, because Mac shortcuts allow you to easily swap between windows. It also doesn't have speakers, which is not a big deal for me again, because I picked up these Anker headphones. They are the Soundcore Q20i, and they are very basic headphones that I use strictly for work. The sound is good though, the battery is also very great. So whenever I have a Zoom meeting or a Slack huddle or anything, I can just pop these on. And I think everyone at work hears me pretty well. I also have these AirPod Maxes for my personal everyday life, but I don't want to use that for work. I will say though, you could just listen to stuff with your MacBook closed. Alright, now for the portion that you will interact with the most, the keyboard and the mouse, and for these I didn't keep out. So I am working with the Logitech Mechanical Mini for Mac, and boy, I just love it. The Bluetooth connectivity is seamless and you can switch between 3 different laptops effortlessly by clicking on F1, F2 or F3. It has very good backlighting and it's really bright. It also has this cool feature where it just knows you're close to it and the backlight comes on automatically. I don't know how this is done, but I think it's a proximity sensor of some kind. I don't really care, I just really appreciate it because it helps the battery last for a very long time. I recently switched to this from the Keychron Key4 and I've loved every second of using this. I love the craftsmanship, I love the profiles of the keycaps, and really everything about this has been great. It also has software that you can use to track your keyboard settings, the computers you're currently paired to, and so much more. For the trackpad, nothing fancy, I just went with the Magic Trackpad from Apple. I got this over a mouse because I had gotten the Magic Mouse and I just hated using it. I remember I had worked directly off my laptop for so long and I didn't want to start learning new commands for gestures and all that. As you can imagine, this integrates seamlessly with your MacBook. It also has perfect haptic feedback and so far there is nothing to complain about. I would say that if you are a mouse guy, you should probably get the MX Master 3S. It has amazing reviews and is about the same cost of the Magic Trackpad. I might even get it just to try it out and see if I would prefer it really. And from the same site, I also got the Logitech Studio Desk Mat in grey. It's very simple actually, but I love it because it adds depth and personality to the table, as opposed to just working directly on the table surface. It also just outlines the area you're working in, and I don't know, it just looks great to me, and sometimes that's just the valid reason you need. What you don't need to think too much about though is this webcam. It's Logitech Brio 100 and I got it in the graphite color because it matches the monitor. It's a 1080p webcam and it's really just that, a webcam. It comes with an inbuilt microphone, but the quality is so bad that I don't use it. But that doesn't matter because we have the Anker headphones for meetings. There are better, more expensive webcams which I think you should get if you're into consulting or sales or something where you need to be seen in 4K. But I really just need to show my face during meetings, so this is good enough for me. The webcam connects via USB-A, which is threaded through my monitor mount to the USB-C hub. Actually, let's talk about the monitor mount for a second. The arm I am using is the Vivo single monitor desk mount, and there really isn't too much to say about it. It's a really inexpensive desk mount and is Versa adaptable, which is great since most monitors use this for mounting. You also do not have to drill a hole in your desk to use this mount, and it has some hooks for guiding cables down the mount. I prefer mounting monitors mainly because of the free space and also because your setup looks cleaner, but I also like that you can drag your monitor around in all kinds of ways. This particular one moves left to right and also moves in and out. The only downside I would say is that it doesn't move up and down, so don't expect to be able to move and adjust to eye level. Another part of my setup that doesn't get enough credit is my desk riser. I just feel like it adds so much depth and personality to the setup that would otherwise be lacking if everything was just all over the place. I like how it modularizes things and now you can have your laptops underneath, some books at the top, figurines and just whatever you want really. Now the chair I went with is from a brand called Dowinx, and for such an inexpensive chair, it is very, very comfortable. And I can sit on this for hours on end without any back issues. It has pillows all around it and the swivel is extremely smooth. It is also height adjustable, which is great, and you can just stand up to get the height back to where you want it to be. It also is retractable, so you can push the chair back, and this chair is so comfortable that I've actually passed out like this several times. So can I recommend this chair? Absolutely. Okay, so that's really it as far as the setup goes, and we ran up a total of $1,065, which is amazing because I got these headphones for my sister, and the fact that this is over half the price or almost half the price of that entire setup is just insane to me. So yeah, that's crazy, but it is what it is really. You don't have to spend too much, as I said before, to get something decent, and I think I've been able to do that with my setup. Anyways, I'll drop some hints right now for if you are going to get this or something similar. The first thing I would say is most of these items go on sale, so use Honey or something to track them, because more than likely they will go on sale anytime and you would want to be able to track that to get them at the best prices, especially if you have something that works for you right now. You don't have to replace everything, you can do them slowly. Then the next thing I would say is if you're buying any of the Logitech products, you should definitely try and get them at the same time, because if you get them at the exact same time, they actually give you discounts for the other ones. And I think my friend was getting his, he didn't use the discounts, which kind of sucks, but I think that's something is good to know, so you don't buy everything at different times. But yeah, before I wrap up though, I'm going to drop some honorable mentions items I think you should get but aren't exactly part of the setup. There's just two really. The first one would be my wireless charger, which is an Anker product. I got it from Amazon and it's a 10,000 milliamp battery. I love this for so many reasons. I initially got it because my iPhone was heavily degraded and I needed a new option for moving around. But nowadays I find myself just putting it on my desk. And I know the time is available on your computer, but having the widgets showing you the time and looking at it just feels like it adds a whole new aspect to your setup. Now the next thing I would recommend is this stand. So no, not the AirPod Maxes, but the stand itself. I got this from somewhere, I don't know exactly where. I'll try finding that and linking it in the description. I'll also link the battery, by the way, in the description. This stand just looks really good next to your setup, and I feel like having it with whatever headphones you have going on will just look great. I also have some plans. They aren't real though, but I love them. And finally, we have the Luffy Funko Pop. So this is definitely the most important thing in your setup. If you do not have this, you might as well throw away the entire setup and start again. Okay, so yeah, that's really it. Let me know if there's anything you would add, anything you would remove, anything you would change. For me, if I'm going to change anything, to probably just be the monitor, just because I didn't used to edit videos as much before, and now I do. So just colors is getting more and more important to me. And yeah, like, let me know what you guys think, if you would like a top, anything else, and I guess I'll catch you on the next one. It is 1 a.m. right now. I am supposed to be at the gym. I was supposed to be at the gym at 7 p.m. But right now it's 1 a.m. So I'll catch you later. Stay safe.